Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel Cactus. If you're new here, I'm Becky Kwanga. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is part 3 of If You Are a Guest from Hell. If you haven't yet watched part 1 and part 2, I've placed the links to those videos in the description box below. Check them out. If you are already a subscriber to my channel, nimesema asante. Nimesema erokamano. Nimesema hizo vitu zote. Thank you, my friend. If you haven't yet subscribed, Anyways, on a serious note, every subscription means so much to me, and every share. Some of you shared my videos on the social media, and it got me more views, and I'm so grateful for all the shares, for all the likes, for all the engagements in the comment section. So keep them coming. I'm aiming to get to 100 subscribers, so come on guys, get me there. I know we can get there. I'll try and make your subscription every worth its while, I think. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and please engage in the comment section below. I would love to engage with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 7. This point has a mixture of things. Point A, A, B, C, D, E. Point A, during your stay, be mindful of people's bills, okay? Switch off the lights, switch off gadgets, switch off the water heaters, switch off things that are not in use. We had some terrible guests who were staying with us for I think about 2 weeks, and they would leave for days on end and leave all the lights on. It was just such a horrible experience, and our bill was definitely high at the end of the month. Point B, please follow the host's house rules. We've been through this before. We have to go through this again. There are the main house rules, and then there are the additional house rules. Please read through all of the additional house rules. Do not book that property if you are not the right fit. Simple. For example, we have clearly stated in our house rules, no smoking, no vaping, no unregistered overnight guests, no parties, and definitely low volume after 10 p.m. Well, remember those guests I told you about in episode 2? The ones that asked, do you have a TV and do you have a garden after they had booked? Those ones. So they arrive, and I see a group of 4 young guys getting out of a vehicle, and I was like, oh no. These guys were teenagers, and if they weren't teenagers, they were probably in their early 20s. I knew right there and then we were gonna be in for a long night. During check-in, I reminded them about noise levels. I reminded them that this is not a party house. On our walls, there are clear signs that say no smoking, no vaping. Needless to say, these guys did not wind down until about 4 a.m. None of us got rest. We found out that they had 2 unregistered guests, and then we found a shisha pipe or some other pipe, some smoking pipe thing in the house. So yeah, they definitely didn't follow the house rules, and guess what? We marked them down. Those ratings will be visible to other hosts, and they'll probably have a harder time booking wherever they go. So just follow the house rules. Point C, report any damages before you leave, and be courteous enough to pay for the damages before you leave. We had a guest who damaged our towels. I mean, there were these brown stains on the towels. These stains were not coming out. We bleached them. We washed the towels more than twice. Those stains were not budging. She broke a cup, did not bother to tell us until after we had confronted her after her checkout, because we noticed that a cup was missing. She broke her toothbrush holder. She refused to claim responsibility for that. She damaged a whole bunch of other things in the house. This guest completely refused to take responsibility for all of the damages she caused in our house. So when we were solving this issue with Airbnb, she had the audacity to tell Airbnb that she believes those brown stains are our makeup. What a racist and ignorant statement. Number one, the assumption that we share our guests' towels. Hello, we have our own in the main house. Two, I know a lot of black people. And all the black people I know use cotton balls and makeup remover to remove their makeup. Anyways, we were able to get full compensation from Airbnb, and you know what? We marked her down. And funnily enough, she had a negative review from a previous guest that she had stayed with. So if you're a host on Airbnb, look out for previous negative reviews. Guests tend to repeat them. Just be on the watch out for those. D, do not ask the host if you can send them money directly or to pay outside of the app. Guests tend to do this in order to avoid having to pay that 6 to 12% commission that Airbnb charges the guest on top of the booking fee. Don't do it. Why? It's for your safety and for your protection. Yeah. For example, and we've seen this happen, a guest will book a property, okay? They will send their payment to the host, they'll check in, and then the host will come up to the guest and say, you know what? We hadn't updated our booking fee when you had booked, or we had made a mistake. So now you'll just have to pay this extra amount because we cannot keep you here if you do not pay this full fee. Another con that we have seen is that you send your money to the host, immediately the host gets that money, they vanish. You arrive at the Airbnb, hakuna nyumba, hakuna Airbnb, utadu. This is also a pointer for hosts. I know that these are tips for guests, but this is also a pointer for hosts. If a guest damages your house or steals something from you, if the booking took place outside of Airbnb, Airbnb cannot step in to compensate for the damages or for what has been stolen. Complete payment through the app. Are we together, class? Are we together? Point E, try to be as easygoing as possible. These tend to be our favorite guests. Sometimes things will go wrong at the Airbnb, but if you see that the host is doing everything in their ability to fix and solve the problem, be easygoing about it. For example, when we first moved into this home, we had no idea as to how many leakages were present in the home and to how bad the piping was. Well, we had a young guy book from the States. He had been living in Kenya, and so he booked his uncle and dad to come visit him in Kenya, and they were to stay at our Airbnb. Well, one day there I was shopping, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. Becky, the place is flooded. The place is leaking. We need to find the water source to switch off the leaking water. The place is leaking. And I'm like, okay. What's going on? The place is flooded. We need to find the source to switch off the water. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm coming. And then he was like, okay, one of your sisters has arrived and they've switched off the water source, but the place is flooded. It's flooded. And I was like, okay, I'm coming. So I rushed to the Airbnb. The Airbnb is basically a guest wing, and it's a 2-bedroom ensuite. It has a living room, a dining room, a reading nook, and a kitchen. So it's quite sizable. I get to the Airbnb. If this is the floor, the water level had reached that high throughout the whole property, the whole Airbnb, the whole guest wing. Not only had it filled the Airbnb, it seeped into the main house, filled the living room, filled the dining room, filled the hallway. I mean, I found my sister wringing out water in a bucket. So we were like, oh my God, what do we do? And we're like, you know what? They have to sleep in the main house. So we changed out our beds, remade the beds. So dad and son slept in my mom's room, uncle slept in my room, and we just sat ourselves up in the attic somewhere. I mean, We were so scared that they would be like, we want our refund, we want you to put us in a new place immediately, and blah, blah, blah. They were so understanding. They were just so patient. And they were like, these guys were, our rating, they gave us an amazing rating. And they were like, these guys were so accommodating. We were shocked. Needless to say, the guy who booked our Airbnb ended up being like our brother. He's like our brother. It's like we're family. Hey, Mr. C. We're like family. So if you see that the host is doing everything in their power to solve the situation, just be easygoing, okay? Now, of course, there are some things that you have to stand up and speak out on, especially when you face discrimination, when you face racial treatment, or if the property has promised to have certain items and they're not there. Say, for example, they say there's Wi-Fi, there's no Wi-Fi, or they promise that there's gonna be like an oven and then you get there and there's no oven. For example, I think it was Christmas 2018. We stayed in Naivasha and we were staying in a Caucasian's place. And the reason why I had to point out it's Caucasian is because I have seen a trend, and I'm sorry I have to say this, but there is a trend for different treatment between Caucasian guests and guests. And sometimes the bad treatment may not come from the host themselves, but from their staff, due to inferiority complex which is rife in this country, and it's got to stop. So we get there. Number one, there's no Wi-Fi. We were promised Wi-Fi. We were going there because it's a self-service. We knew we would be cooking during Christmas. And so we had asked previously, are there cooking utensils? Are there oven baking sheets? Because we will need all these things. We get there, no oven baking sheets. So we had to like constantly ask her, hey, you had said there's an oven baking trays. There's none here. Can you please bring us some? And then she'd have to bring them from the main house. In other words, she hadn't stocked up the Airbnb. It was so annoying. Anyway, that wasn't the main issue. The main issue was gas decided to finish on Christmas Day while we are cooking. The host had mentioned that she would be gone, and she would be gone to spend time with family, and that she would leave us in the hands of her staff. Well, we sent the lady who was taking care of us to go and ask to get the gas so that they can bring the gas and hook up the place. Half an hour, our help comes back and she says, I had asked this lady for the gas. She said she's bringing it. I've been standing out there all of this time, no gas. So my mom was like, what? Okay, let me go check. So my mom goes, asks the help, excuse me, we've been waiting for gas for over half an hour. Who is the gas? The lady had the audacity to answer my mom rudely and walk back into our host's home. So my mom came and told me this. And by the way, mind you, all this time, my fire has been seething. And I'm like, don't blow up, Becky. Don't blow up, Becky. Don't blow up. So when my mom comes and tells us what has happened, I blew up. I was red. I was hot. I marched to that house and gave that lady a piece of my mind. I did not mince. I did not spare one word. Like, I was done. How dare you? How dare you? I think that lady found out what inferiority complex means that day. Anyway, after the end of all that, she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Please don't please don't treat this place badly. You know. We rated the place down. So actually, if you are a Caucasian host and you are watching this show, if your staff are giving special treatment to people from outside of Kenya and giving worse treatment to people of this color, that means the problem is with you. You need to change that, and you need to show proper leadership to your staff and in our country, Kenya, especially if you yourself are Kenyan.
And the attention is more than I could give them, because they're worse than a baby, having a baby around. You couldn't leave. I'm telling you, you couldn't just leave and travel. And the time came when I thought, I am thinking about chickens when I wake up. I think about chickens when I go to bed. I think about chickens all the time. I can't afford, I just don't have the energy anymore. Because, I've been doing it all my life. My mom is still doing it, but not when I'm on my own. And then there's a budget. Every end of month, I've got to think about chicken food. And I'm thinking, that money I could use it. So, I've had a good go at it. And it's been good fun. But let me not talk because who knows?
You may do it again.
I might do it again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this needs to be outside. And by the way, I feel very safe here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about
Totally.
safety. Yeah.
Totally. So this used to be a place I'd wired it off where the chickens could come out
Okay.
and eat. And then I'd open for them and then they would wander around all over the place.
My God.
Then, and that was really, really nice. But then they started eating the grass, messing it about.
That is so hilarious.
And then I decided, you know what? I think now is the time to start closing down that season of chickens, at least for now. So I want to make this lawn really, really nice and people can chill. They can relax here. And clothes for laundry can be put out there. But inside the wired fence, there's a vegetable garden where I planted, the basic stuffs. Foodstuffs, sukuma, spinach, kienyeji vegetables, lettuces, tomatoes, so that, and I've always done that so that, I could feed Neve and myself, especially after my ex and I went our different ways. Oh, no, c'est la vie, mademoiselle. It is cool. It is fine. I mean, a totally different place even.
Yep.
Place. So that's the garden. And then the other little house I was talking about was that one. But I don't think we'll do that one.
Okay.
I think this is the main one. It's got a story to it.
Yes, this has got a story.
Yeah, it's got a story to it.
Would you ever consider renting out one room or anything like that?
That's it would be, unless it's a female. Unless it's a female. But also when it comes to, they would have to be comfortable with sharing a toilet. Maybe after I've done the ensuite. I don't know what you think.
That would be such an amazing experience for someone, right? Yeah. Obviously, privacy is important, but yeah. Would you consider renting out your whole house?
Totally.
For
That would be the idea. Rent it out and you enjoy, and I would not be too far away. As long as you respect. I coexist with nature here. I see a lot of squirrels, butterflies.
Squirrels!
I
My
know.
gosh, you hardly see squirrels in Kenya.
Oh, they're there. They walk here. They're monkeys that walk around here. So I coexist, and it's very, very quiet. Very, very quiet, which is what I appreciate. So it's fitting in with nature. You hardly hear loud blasting music.
I hate it. I hate loud blast. It's so funny because this episode that I'm shooting right now is Are You a Guest from Hell? On Airbnb. So I've already spoken about, a host has clearly said on Airbnb, no loud music, no blasting, and then you're there like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
No, I can't handle that. I couldn't handle it. But also the neighbors are very, not even the neighbors. It's more about me, and it's more about respecting the space that you've come into. Leave it how
Are
you
you
found
listening?
it.
Respecting the space that you've been invited into. Respect.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because that's what I would do if I went to a place and I knew exactly how they lived. I would fit into that. Otherwise, why go? Why go to that particular place that says this is a place filled with nature? You can hear the wind. You can feel it on you. You can see. Why do I want to go and spoil that? So that's why I come back to it's for a particular kind of person. And if you don't like it...
If you don't fit it, don't book it.
Absolutely. Oh, I like that. That rhymed.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I would do this. Obviously, there's a lot of unlearning, still to do in all of our minds. But
Absolutely.
like, would I do this in Nairobi? Like, or do I want it as a getaway? Oh, I don't know. Absolutely. But
Yeah,
I would.
I completely hear you.
This is something I would want to do.
But you know what?
For sure.
You know what people are doing? They're paying thousands of shillings to go and do this kind of thing in the Mara, in the Amboseli, why not have in your own back garden? You're paying so much and you're waiting until the leave days. So why not do it here? And I know that I had a lot of people going, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, this is Karen Kirini. This is Karen. What are you doing building a mud house? There were very many people I turned away from coming in to see as I was building because I just felt, you know what? Me, I can't show you my heart right now because I do not want people to start telling me, but you're not doing this. But I know what I want. I know what I want. And that's how come it has turned out the way it has turned out because I was not listening to what people were telling me. Because people do stop you. They're not always going to understand your vision. They aren't, are they? They aren't. So T.D. Jakes once said, don't tell everybody what your vision is. Don't. There are going to be giants along the way who will not want you to succeed. So be careful who you surround yourself with when God's put something in your heart. Just go easy. Not everybody wants. I know this sounds terrible, but not everybody wants what you want for yourself. So choose who you invite into your vision because it's yours. It's your heart. Yeah.
Today's word.
It was meant to be, but
I am so. Oh, you have a trampoline.
Yeah, and boy, you should see me jumping on that trampoline.
Oh, how fun!
Oh, and then there are times I just lie on it and look into the sky, and
wow.
You can become a recluse.
Yes. No, seriously. Even me, I can see myself just. Yeah. This is beautiful.
The challenges. I think the biggest challenges that I've been having is just trying to maintain things like the water system because it's coming from that side and along here, and trying to. There's always something going wrong with the power or with the water pipe. So. The things are maintenance. It's really just the maintenance.
Which
the inside. In every house.
Every house.
It's in every house.
Yeah.
Because I know when we're in that house, one of the biggest maintenance costs were the termites.
Wood, right?
Yeah, that's wood. I know one of the challenges that we've had that's really caused me a lot of stress and myself, but now we know how to deal with it, is red ants. Having to keep red ants when it starts raining. Let me tell you, there was one morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I hear Neve, Mom. And she's standing on her bed. So I come, she's thinking, oh my goodness, now what is it? I get there and they managed to get into the house.
Oh my God. I would scream.
She was screaming. And I'm thinking they are already in. Oh my God. What do we do? So we took, it's ash. I had burnt some ash. We call it omunyo mshereha, which we use for cooking things like chicken. I know that at home that you guys have it. You pass it through a sieve and the water that comes out. But anyway, so I took that ash and I quickly put her around her room. And then I started throwing the ash on them. They don't like ash. They don't like ash. So that managed to get rid of them. Of course, we didn't sleep, from then on. But what then started happening was, whenever it would start getting wet, I've got to watch out. If I see red ants anywhere, I put ash around. And if you notice, like right here, I've surrounded the house with ash.
So this is basically burning, what do you call this?
This is just
charcoal.
wood now. Yeah, this is just wood.
Okay, that you burnt, huh?
That are burnt.
Okay.
And if you look in here,
in
here, I am ready with my ash. It's like,
wow.
you guys, you ain't gonna get me.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that keeps them from coming inside the house.
They do not like.
So they love the mud. Is it that they're attracted to the mud? Is that what it is? Okay.
They want to move away from the wet. So they're looking for food and a dry place. So they come into places like this, which are very vulnerable because they're not cemented, they're not cemented. So they've got all kinds of places that they can get into. Oh, we have fought. I mean, last year it was like, oh man, you know. But now it's like, whenever I see a red ant, all around the house, and they don't come in. They just don't come in. So they must have thought, she has figured us out. It's like, yeah, do you know how many years I've had to learn how you work?
Wow.
So that was
literally
a
the whole house.
Yeah, right all around the house.
That's
Even
so
as we came
amazing.
in,
That's
right
so
at the
amazing.
front. So that's been a big challenge. When we moved in, it was a bit like Shrek. I don't know if you ever saw Shrek when he came home and all those animals were like partying. They were mice like this. Exterminator! Hey, we got mice were like, they had taken, because I built it and then I left it for a little while. So of course they came in and they were doing, I know how you feel. But you know, now that they're not there at all, they're all gone. So it's more than nature that has been the challenge.
Wow.
But otherwise, yeah.
I love
But
how
I
the
love
rain
it.
sounds right now.
Oh, when it is pouring, it's like, it reminds me of being up country completely. And I absolutely love it. And then I've got the fire going. Oh, man.
Oh yes, that must be amazing.
It is. I love it. I love it. And I thank God that, He walked with me. Because I don't know how I came to do it, but yeah. So it is my heart.
I mean, I see it throughout the property. Oh, wow. Well, thanks so much for having us over. Hey guys, so I've just gotten back from Shibero's place and oh my gosh, I am so blown away. This lady is so amazing, so full of strength, so full of life, so full of truth. She has so much to give, so much to offer, and I'm just blown away. Check her out. I've placed all her links in the description box. I've placed the link on how to build an earth home and how she can help with consultancy. So if this is something you think that you see yourself doing and you're interested in, please check out that link. Something that we got talking into with her was also about mental health. She's an advocate for mental health, and she has a YouTube channel on mental health, and you know, she talked about how many people don't even know that they're going through mental health, you know, and it's just so important for everybody to check themselves every so often, and you know, just to make sure that we're doing okay. So please check out her YouTube channel. All the links are in the description box below, and yeah, wow, I had such an amazing time. So would you guys do it? I would love to hear from you. Would you do it? Would you live in an earth home? Even if you're not in Nairobi, would you build something up country? For me, absolutely. I am so hands down. That is something I could totally do, you know. And I love the fact that it's, you know, something that you don't have to have debt for, you know. And it's, it's so unique, you know, and true to, you know, our roots and to who we are. So I don't know. I would love to hear from you guys. What do you think of it? So next week is the final episode in this Airbnb series. I know we are finally coming to the end. Oh my word. And that's for the guest sides of things, because I may do an Airbnb series for hosts. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should do a series for hosts? Like if you want to host, you know, and you don't know what to do, or you're planning on hosting on Airbnb and you need some tips? Because up till now, and we've been hosting for a year, we are on a 5-star rating and it hasn't gone down. Our ratings are good. So I think I can give you guys some good tips, but you may not be interested in knowing about that. So let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you would be interested in me doing a series for hosts. Or should I move on to other things? Anyways, next week I will be sharing with you 5 top Airbnb culture traits that you need to embrace in order to have 5-star ratings on Airbnb. So that's the final episode and it's going to be epic. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't so done it. Get me to 100 subscribers. If you like this video, if you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you next week.